This is the video for ESL 3 for Wednesday, April 22nd. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making text connections to The Interlopers by Saki. You probably have been making text connections already with Mrs. Soto, or you remember doing it in ESL 2, so this is kind of a review. A connection is how two things are similar and relate to each other. A text to self connection is when you are connecting the story to something that happened in your own personal life. Maybe a situation that you experienced or someone you know experienced. Here's an example we're going to look at to make some text connections. So we have this cartoon here. We have a man who is trying to be a robber for this man. He's got a knife, he's got a mask, and he's saying to the man, "I said, throw me your wallet." I'm noticing that this man is also wearing a mask. So I'm thinking that this is a cartoon about what's happening today with coronavirus. We can see that the robber does not want to go close to this man, though he still does want to steal from him. So here's a text to self connection. This reminds me of my own life because I also have to wear a mask when I go out because of coronavirus. Notice how my connection isn't just this reminds me of my own life. You need to add more detail and be specific about why it reminds you of your own life. A text-to-text connection is when you're connecting the characters, the setting, or what happens in the story to another story. So we have this here, and then here's the text that it's reminding me of. It's this book, The Outsiders, which you may have read before. This reminds me of the book, The Outsiders, because the main character, Ponyboy, gets threatened with a knife by a rival gang. So this knife situation is what made me make that connection. And lastly, a text to world connection is when you're connecting the story to real world events, things that happened in history or things that are happening right now. So maybe something you have seen in the news. So obviously, this is reminding me of the situation that's happening today. And it's also more specifically reminding me of an article that I read where it said that crime rates across the US, they're dropping or decreasing because of the coronavirus pandemic. So this reminds me of an article that I read in Forbes magazine because it said that crime is decreasing because of coronavirus. So we're seeing here in this cartoon that I don't think this criminal is going to be successful because he's not going to want to get close to this man. So today we're going to go through the same process while we read the story The Interlopers by Saki. And you're going to complete this double entry journal as you read. I'll show you exactly what to do. You're going to have a quotation from the text. You're going to make your connection, and then you're going to tell me what type of connection it is. So when you go to classwork for today, you're going to notice that I have reminded you how to log on to the textbook, and then I also have the assignment for today. So let's log on to the textbook. I'll remind you how to do that. Everyone has the same account, student01@danburyedge.com, and welcome with a capital W. 123, that is my password. I'm going to log on to our course. I'm going to make sure that I find the correct textbook for our class. So okay, here we go to my e-editions. This is our textbook level B, and we're working on Unit 5 and Cluster 1. So I'm Unit 5, Cluster 1, and we're going to the interlopers. So I have to move over one page, and here I am on the interlopers. And to begin, the story begins here on this page. So I'm going to click here to start listening to the story. As I'm listening, I'm trying to think of connections.
In a forest of mixed growth, somewhere in the eastern Carpathian Mountains, a man stood one winter night. He was watching and listening, as though waiting for some beast of the woods to come within the range of his vision and his rifle. But the game he sought could not be found in any sportsman's guide. Ulrich von Gratwitz searched the dark forest on the hunt for a human enemy. The narrow strip of woodland around the edge of the Gratwitz forest was not remarkable. but its owner guarded it more jealously than all his other possessions. Long ago, the court had granted the land to his grandfather, taking it away from the illegal possession of a neighboring family. The family who had lost the land had never agreed with the court's decision.
Okay, I'm thinking of a connection to this part right here about this feud between land. So when I go to my text connections, I'm going to copy this quotation into my chart. Long ago, the court had granted the land to his grandfather, taking it away from the illegal possession of the neighboring family. The family who had lost their land never agreed with the court's decision. So, this is reminding me of my own grandmother because she argued with her neighbor about where their yards ended. They actually had to go to the town, and the town agreed with her, but this neighbor was still so mad that he ended up just moving and selling his property. So this is a text to self connection because I'm connecting it with a life experience of someone that I know, someone in my own life. You're going to be doing the same thing as you read. So here's the classwork. You're continuing to read the entire story, page 416 to 423. As you read, you're going to complete this double entry journal. Identifying quotations, include the page number, make a text connection, and then tell me what type of connection it is. Let me show you exactly what the document looks like. We're in the classwork section for today. Click on this link. It's going to show me the double entry journal. It looks very similar to what I just showed you. You'll notice that I have my own example already in the quotation in the chart for you. I gave you the quotation that I would like you to connect to from page 417, but make sure you still are reading that page and 416. Continue to read, and I want you to make 1, 2, 3 more text connections on your own. So that means there's a total of 4 text connections for you to make while you're reading the story. If you have any questions, please email me. Have a great day.